What if you're not lost? What if the real reason you don't recognize yourself anymore is because you've been buried? Buried under survival, buried under being strong, buried under being needed, buried under motherhood, relationships, disappointment, trauma, expectations, and all the versions of you that you had to perform just to get through. Because sometimes we say, I don't know who I am anymore, when the truth is, we do. We just haven't heard from her in a long time. And today I want to talk to you about that. Not from a place of shame, not from a place of you need to fix yourself, but from a place of truth. Because you are not broken, you are buried, and buried things can be uncovered. My name is Brittany Britt, and I help women process their pain, recognize their patterns, and reclaim who they are. And this space is for women who look like they're self functioning on the outside, but internally, she knows something is off. She's tired, she's disconnected, she's questioning herself. She's wondering how she became this version of herself. And deep down, she knows there's more to her life than just surviving it. So if that's you, I want you to sit with me for a moment. Because this conversation may give language to something you have been feeling but did not know how to explain. Welcome in. When I say you are buried, I mean there are layers on top of the real you. Layers that were not always chosen consciously. Some of them came from childhood, some of them came from relationships, some came from betrayal, some came from being the strong one, some come from being the responsible one, some came from being the one who had to figure it out. And over time, those layers become so familiar that you start calling them your personality. You start saying things like, that's just who I am. I don't like asking for help. I'm just independent. I don't need anybody. I'm used to doing things alone. I'm always the one people come to. But sometimes what we call personality is actually protection. Sometimes what we call independence is actually disappointment. Sometimes what we call strength is actually survival. Sometimes what we call peace is actually avoidance. Sometimes what we call loyalty is actually fear of starting over. And that is where identity work begins. Not with asking, what do I want? But first asking, who did I become in order to survive? So I'm gonna give you the example, right? So the strong woman. We're gonna use the strong woman as an example. Everybody comes to her. She handles everything. She doesn't complain much. She figures it out. She pushes through. She makes sure everybody else is okay. And people praise her for it. They say, you're so strong. You always got it. I don't know how you do it. But nobody asks her if she's tired. Nobody asks her if she wants to be held. Nobody asks her if she wants to be soft. Nobody asks her when's the last time she felt safe enough to fall apart. So now she doesn't even know how to receive help because she has built her whole identity around being the one who does not need it. But that is not always strength, ladies. Sometimes that is a wound with a good reputation. I'm going to say that again. A wound with a good reputation. And when you start becoming yourself again, you have to be honest enough to ask, am I strong because I'm empowered? Or am I strong because I never felt like I had another choice? That question right there can change your life. Self-abandonment. A lot of women think they lost themselves all at once. But most of the times, you did not lose yourself in one moment. You lost yourself in small moments. Every time you say yes when you meant to say no. Every time you silence yourself to keep the peace. Every time you ignored your body. Every time you explained away disrespect. Every time you stayed quiet because you did not want to be difficult. Every time you chose being chosen over being honest. Every time you betrayed yourself to keep a relationship, a role, a family image, or an old version of your life together, that is self abandonment. Self abandonment does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks responsible. Sometimes it looks loyal. Sometimes it looks peaceful. Sometimes it looks like being a good woman, a good mother, a good partner, a good friend, a good employee, right? But inside you are slowly disappearing. And then one day you look up and say, I don't even know what I like anymore. I don't know what I want. I don't know what makes me happy. I don't even know who I am outside of what I do for everybody else. That is not because you are empty. It is because you have been living disconnected from yourself for too long. So my second example is the woman who keeps saying, I'm fine. Think about the woman who says, I'm fine all the time. She is overwhelmed, but she says she's fine. She's hurt, but she says she's fine. She's lonely, but she says she's fine. She's angry, but she says she's fine. She's exhausted, but she says she's fine. And after a while, I'm fine becomes the mask. But the body knows the truth. The body knows when you are tired. The body knows when you are resentful. The body knows when you are grieving. The body knows when you have outgrown something. The body knows when you are no longer aligned. And that is why many women feel anxious, heavy, numb, irritated, or even emotionally drained. Not because something is wrong with them, but because something inside of them is tired of being ignored. This is the part that may be uncomfortable. You cannot become who you are while pretending you are okay with things that are hurting you. You cannot heal by lying to yourself. You cannot rebuild yourself while still abandoning yourself. You cannot become her while still protecting a version of you that was built in survival. At some point, you have to tell the truth. Not to everybody else first, to yourself. You have to be able to say, I am not okay. I'm tired. I feel disconnected. I have been performing. I have been shrinking. I have been settling. I have been afraid. I have been calling this peace, but I have been avoiding conflict. I have been calling this love, but really, I have been abandoning myself. That level of honesty is not easy, but it is freeing. Because once you can tell the truth, you can begin to choose differently. The first stage is not changing everything overnight. It is about awareness. Awareness is when you stop moving on autopilot. Awareness is when you start noticing your patterns. Awareness is when you start paying attention to what drains you, what triggers you, what silences you, and what makes you feel small. Awareness is when you begin to ask, why did I say yes when I wanted to say no? Why do I feel guilty when I choose myself? Why do I feel responsible for everybody's emotion? Why do I feel like I have to earn rest? Why do I feel unsafe being seen? Why do I keep going back to what hurts me? And I want to be clear. Awareness is not about judging yourself. It's about finally seeing yourself. Because you cannot heal what you keep minimizing. You cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot reclaim a self you are unwilling to sit with. Ladies, please, 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 wind that back and listen to that again. All right, so let me give you a simple example. Imagine your phone is on 2%. It's dying, it's moving slow, the screen is dim, the apps are glitching, and instead of charging it, you keep opening more apps. You keep expecting it to perform. You keep using it like it's fully charged. That is what many women are doing with themselves. You are depleted, but still producing. You are emotionally drained, but still showing up for everybody. You are disconnected, but still trying to perform confidence. You are tired but still trying to act like you have capacity. At some point, the question is not, why am I not doing more? The question is, what has been draining me for so long that I no longer have access to myself? That is the work. Not just productivity, not just motivation, not just discipline, identity. Because when you connect with who you are, your choices change, your standards change, your boundaries change, your relationship change, your tolerance changes, your language changes, your life begins to change. Becoming is not about becoming somebody else. It is about returning to the woman you were before life taught you to shrink, before disappointment made you guarded, before survival made you hard, before people pleasing made you quit, before pain made you forget your own voice. Becoming is the process of uncovering, unlearning, rebuilding, choosing, returning. And I want you to know this. The real you is not gone. She may be buried. She may be quiet. She may be tired. She may be scared. She may not trust herself at all. But she is still there. And every time you tell the truth, you uncover her. Every time you choose yourself, you uncover her. Every time you set a boundary, you uncover her. Every time you stop explaining what you already know, you uncover her. Every time you honor what your body has been trying to tell you, you uncover her. That is how you come back to yourself. Not all at once, but one honest decision at a time. Let's journal. Before I close this video, I want to give you a question to sit with. Not to answer perfectly, not to make it sound pretty, just tell the truth. What version of me did I become in order to survive? And what has that version been costing me? I want you to really sit with that. Not just, I became strong. Go deeper. I tell my ladies all the time, dig deep. The deeper you dig, the freer you will become. Did some of you become quiet? Did you become controlling? Did you become emotionally unavailable? Did you become overly responsible? Did you become the fixer? Did you become the woman who never needs anything? Did you become the woman who always expects disappointment? Did you become the woman who keeps herself busy so she does not have to feel? And then ask yourself, what has that version cost me? Has it cost me peace? Has it cost me softness? Has it cost me connection? Has it cost me joy? Has it cost me my voice? Has it cost me my identity? That is where you begin. If this video spoke to you, I want you to stay close to this space. Because we're going to talk about identity, self-abandonment, survival patterns, emotional healing, boundaries, self-trust, and what it really means to become yourself again. This is not surface level healing. This is the work beneath the work. And if you are in a season where you know you are ready to stop surviving and start becoming, this space is for you. Healing is not becoming someone new. It's finally been honest enough, safe enough, and aware enough to return to yourself. This is the work of the becoming.